The year is 1942. The world is engulfed in the flames of war, a conflict that stretches across continents and oceans, affecting millions of lives. World War II engulfs the globe. From the deserts of North Africa to the icy waters of the North Atlantic, battles rage on multiple fronts. Imperial Japan, after its stunning attack on Pearl Harbor, rampages through the Pacific. Their military might seem unstoppable as they conquer territory after territory. Their objective: domination of Asia and the vital resources it holds. Oil, rubber, and other materials essential for their war machine. Standing in their way, the United States and its allies. Nations united by a common goal: to halt the spread of tyranny and restore peace. The fate of the Pacific, perhaps the world, hangs in the balance. Every decision, every battle, could tip the scales in favor of one side or the other. In this cauldron of conflict, a seemingly insignificant island emerges as a pivotal battleground: Guadalcanal. Its strategic location makes it a prize both sides are desperate to control. Guadalcanal, a name whispered with dread and respect by those who fought there, held strategic significance. Veterans recall the intense battles and the harsh conditions they endured. For the Japanese, it was a stepping stone to severing the supply lines between the United States and Australia. Control of Guadalcanal would isolate Australia and weaken Allied forces. For the Allies, it represented a crucial line in the sand, a chance to halt Japan's relentless advance. Losing Guadalcanal was not an option, it was a matter of survival. Control of Guadalcanal meant control of the skies and seas around it, a prize worth fighting and dying for. The island's airfields and naval bases were key to dominating the region. Thus, in the sweltering heat of the South Pacific, two determined enemies prepared for a confrontation that would shape the course of the Pacific War. The dense jungles and treacherous terrain added to the challenges faced by both sides. The stakes could not have been higher. Every soldier knew that the outcome of this battle would have far-reaching consequences. The outcome of the battle for Guadalcanal would determine the balance of power in the Pacific. A victory here could shift momentum and change the course of the war. Would Japan's rising sun continue its ascent, or would the United States and its allies stem the tide of Japanese aggression? The answer would be decided by the bravery and determination of the soldiers on the ground. The answer lay in the hands of the young men who fought and bled on that remote island, far from home and loved ones. Their letters and photographs tell stories of courage, fear, and hope. Their courage, resilience, and sacrifice would forever be etched in the annals of military history. Memorials and commemorations remind us of their bravery and the high cost of freedom. Today, Guadalcanal stands as a testament to the fierce battles fought and the lives lost. Visitors walk the same grounds where history was made, paying homage to the heroes of the past. The sun sets over Guadalcanal, a place once torn by war, now a symbol of peace and resilience. The echoes of the past linger, reminding us of the sacrifices made for a better future. Before we continue, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. August 7, 1942. Dawn breaks over Guadalcanal, revealing a scene of both beauty and impending chaos. The turquoise waters of the Pacific lap at the shores of the island, a verdant paradise from afar. But this idyllic facade masks the harsh reality of war. American Marines, tense and determined, prepare to storm the beaches. Operation Watchtower, the Allied counteroffensive, has officially begun. The initial landings are met with surprisingly light resistance. Japanese defenders, caught off guard by the audacity and timing of the attack, are quickly overwhelmed. The Marines, battle-hardened veterans of brutal campaigns in the Pacific, secure the beachhead and push inland. Their objective, a partially completed airfield, crucial for air superiority. The Japanese, however, are not finished. They will fight tooth and nail for every inch of Guadalcanal. The early days of the campaign are marked by a sense of cautious optimism. The Marines, bolstered by their initial success, push deeper into the jungle, encountering sporadic resistance. But the challenges of fighting in such a hostile environment soon become apparent. The humid, oppressive heat saps the men's strength. Disease, a constant threat, spreads through the ranks, and lurking in the dense jungle, an unseen enemy awaits. The battle for Guadalcanal quickly descends into a brutal struggle for survival. The island, with its dense jungles and treacherous terrain, becomes a living nightmare for the soldiers stationed there. The dense jungle, unforgiving terrain, becomes both battlefield and adversary. The thick canopy overhead blocks out the sun, casting an eerie shadow over the soldiers as they navigate through the undergrowth. Visibility is limited to a few yards. Every step forward is fraught with danger, as the enemy could be lurking just beyond the next tree or bush. The air hangs heavy with humidity, a breeding ground for disease and discomfort. The oppressive heat saps the energy from the men, while the constant threat of malaria and other tropical diseases looms large. The Marines, accustomed to the open warfare of previous campaigns, find themselves fighting a new kind of enemy, the jungle itself. The thick foliage and rugged terrain make traditional tactics nearly impossible. At the heart of the battle lies Henderson Field, the strategically vital airstrip. This airfield is the key to controlling the skies over Guadalcanal and the surrounding waters. Its capture is paramount for both sides. Whoever controls Henderson Field can launch air attacks, provide support to ground troops, and disrupt enemy supply lines. For the Americans, it represents a lifeline, a way to project air power and interdict Japanese supply lines. The airfield allows them to bring in much-needed supplies and reinforcements. For the Japanese, it is a dagger pointed at their heart, a constant reminder of the enemy's presence. They know that as long as the Americans hold Henderson Field, their own operations in the region are in jeopardy. The fight for Henderson Field will be one of the most brutal and consequential of the entire campaign. Both sides are willing to pay a high price for control of this critical piece of land. Night after night, the airfield is subjected to relentless Japanese artillery and air attacks. The constant bombardment takes a toll on the men, who must remain vigilant and ready to defend their positions at all times. The roar of explosions, the chatter of machine guns, and the screams of the wounded fill the air. Sleep becomes a luxury. The men snatch moments of rest whenever they can. But the constant threat of attack keeps them on edge. Food and ammunition run low. The supply lines are stretched thin, and every resupply mission is a dangerous gamble. The men make do with what they have, rationing their supplies and making every bullet count. Yet despite the hardships, the Marines hold their ground. Their determination is unshakable, fueled by a deep sense of duty and camaraderie. They know that failure is not an option. They repair the runway by day, fight off attacks by night, their determination fueled by a potent mix of courage and desperation. The battle for Henderson Field is a testament to their resilience and tenacity, a defining moment in the struggle for control of the Pacific. While the battle for Guadalcanal rages on land, a different kind of conflict unfolds at sea. The waters around the island become a theater of war, where the stakes are just as high and the outcomes just as crucial. The waters around the island, soon to be dubbed Iron Bottom Sound for the sheer number of warships sunk there, become a graveyard of steel. Each sunken vessel tells a story of bravery, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of victory. Japanese and American fleets clash in a series of brutal night battles, each side vying for control of the vital sea lanes. These nocturnal engagements are marked by their ferocity and the strategic importance of every maneuver. The naval battles are a cacophony of fire, steel, and deafening explosions. The roar of cannons and the flash of gunfire light up the night, creating a hellish landscape on the open sea. Warships, silhouetted against the moonlit sky, exchange volleys of deadly fire. The eerie glow of the moon casts a haunting light on the chaos below as ships maneuver and fire in a deadly dance. Torpedoes streak through the water, leaving trails of phosphorescent light. These silent killers glide beneath the waves, seeking their targets with deadly precision. The night erupts in blinding flashes as ships explode, sending men and metal to the depths. Each explosion is a stark reminder of the perilous nature of naval warfare. The sea itself seems to boil with the fury of battle. waves churn and froth, reflecting the violence above and the turmoil below. These battles are not just about tonnage and firepower, they are about the courage and skill of the sailors who man these vessels. Each sailor plays a crucial role, from the gunners on deck to the engineers below. In the cramped, inferno-like compartments below deck, men work tirelessly to keep their ships afloat and fighting. The heat is unbearable, the noise deafening, yet they persevere. They brave fire, flooding, and the ever-present threat of a watery grave, their actions often the difference between victory and defeat. Their resilience and determination are tested to the limit. The legacy of these battles lives on, not just in the history books, but in the memorials and cemeteries that honor the fallen. Their sacrifice ensures that the story of their bravery will never be forgotten. Today, the lessons learned from these historic naval battles continue to shape modern naval strategy. The courage and innovation displayed by those who fought in Iron Bottom Sound serve as a guiding light for future generations of sailors. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you have not already. We are the Minutemen of history.